Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a beginner's guide on what cryptocurrency is and how it works. If you already understand the basics of cryptocurrency, go ahead and skip to the timestamp on the screen. That's when I'm going to start talking about what Ripple is. But in its most basic form, cryptocurrency is a digital currency that started with an idea of decentralized commerce. The way it works today is you have buyer, a seller, and a middleman, and the middleman is typically a bank. So when a transaction transpires, it goes through the bank first before it actually gets to its person, and there's typically a fee associated with it, whether it be a very small one or a big one. It totally depends on what kind of transaction you're doing. But today, that if I'm in New York and I have family in London and I have to send money there, the fastest way for me to send money to England would be to get on a damn plane with cash and fly it there myself. That is ridiculous for 2017, about to be 2018. And cryptocurrency kind of helps with that. And what it does is it removes banks from the equation. It does this by using blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is essentially a ledger of transactions attached to each coin. I don't know 100% how it works because it's extremely complex, but no matter where it goes or who buys and sells it, there's a record of it. That record is updated not only by your computer, but by every single computer running the system. This makes it unhackable. Nobody can hack the entirety of the network to change a single ledger, and honestly, if they do, they deserve it. So anyways, what started with an idea has since catapulted into a raging market that is rampant with speculation and volatility. Now, let me preface this next part with a disclaimer that I am not an expert in any shape or form. I'm relatively new to the market like everybody else, and with that being said, you should never invest anything that you aren't ready to lose. So, there are literally thousands of coins out there to choose from, so where do we get started? Well, today I'm going to talk to you guys about Ripple. Ripple has seen a firestorm over the last few days. As I'm recording this, it's up over 80% today, which is huge, and it has currently, as of this morning, dethroned Ethereum as the second highest market cap coin following Bitcoin. So in an effort to present an unbiased opinion, I'm going to cover the pros and cons of this coin, and we'll start with the pros. The first thing is that Ripple is used by major banks. It's widely being adopted as the coin that banks will use, and there are thousands of large banks that have already signed off on it, like Transcendem, Bank of America. Google has put money into it. They're not a bank, but they've put money into it, so there's a lot of really big, important investors in the technology. The second thing is that technology is actually far better than other coins. It adds a real advantage to the consumer, and on average, a Bitcoin transaction takes about 45 minutes. Ethereum takes 5 minutes, but Ripple only takes 3 seconds. It's meant to be used globally and with a huge volume of transactions. That's why the circulating supply is so large. Third, it could establish a global standard. Right now, there are thousands of exchange rates. If you take the US dollar and compare it to any other country, that's an exchange rate. And then you take any other country and compare it to any other country, that's an exchange rate. So there's tens of thousands of different exchange rates. It could set up a very easy 3-step process where your currency is valued against Ripple, and then Ripple into whatever currency you want. So you no longer have to evaluate every single possible combination. It's just, what is it compared to Ripple? 4, the cost per transaction is 0.0004 for Ripple. It's 45 cents for Ethereum and $1.88 for Bitcoin. Number 5 is scalability. Ripple comes in at a staggering 1,500 transactions per second. Ethereum and Bitcoin only support 16. Number 6, Coinbase rumors. Coinbase is the only federally regulated exchange at the moment, and that's all done through New York. But a large amount of enthusiasts hated this transition as it moves against crypto's core philosophy of removing the middleman, making it kind of an anonymous currency that can be done globally. But it admittedly has added a lot of validity to the market. Investors have more confidence in the market because it's regulated, and because of that, the market is soaring. Currently, Coinbase only supports Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin, and Ripple is rumored to be the next one in line, which would add a lot of new investors to the market because it takes the average everyday Joe and allows them to buy Ripple easily without having to go through a different exchange, a third-party exchange like you have to today. Now that's a lot of positives, but we have to look at this very rationally and look at the negatives. It is privately owned. Ripple is owned by a private company who could potentially do shady or stupid things, and it is not decentralized. Decentralization is one of the core things that makes cryptocurrency, but instead they decided to focus on banks and the efficiency of the technology. So depending on who you ask, it could be a pro or a con, but at the end of the day, the largest financial institutions aren't just going to roll over and die without putting up a fight. And Ripple instead brings the technology to them and involves them in the adoption of it. And if they adopt it to fix their liquidity issues, to fix their speed issues, it could really, really go up in value. Now, at the same time, banks could decide to go a different direction entirely. Ripple currently holds 60% of the total coins. So they have locked them into escrow, which means that they only release a small amount of coins per year, and they can't just dump all of them into the economy at once and just tank the price to cash out on all their hard work. So what that means is that while the company is privately owned, they can't just, sell off all of their shares, and they are in it for the long haul. Number 2 is innovation. Ripple has been around since 2012. It has a large team of fantastic developers who have developed a fantastic product, but at the end of the day, somebody else could come along tomorrow and invent something better. It's technology. It's constantly evolving. I imagine that these guys are probably on the forefront. They've developed the second largest cryptocurrency out there, so if something was to be developed, it'd probably be by them. But you always have to be wary of technology. It's always evolving. You don't know what's right around the corner. There's some genius in a garage somewhere that's going to make everybody look stupid tomorrow. So the third thing is circulating supply. Bitcoin has just under $17 million of 17 million coins in circulation, and Ripple currently has 38 billion. Because of this, the prices will likely never reach Bitcoin levels. It's way too spread out. It's meant to be used on a global scale, and Bitcoin was not. So keeping that in mind, while the individual coin is cheap, currently $2.85, and it could go up, it's probably never going to reach Bitcoin levels. If it does, it's going to take a very long time to get there. I would hope that, time will prove me wrong, but keep that in mind. It's not going to be this $15,000 currency. So how do you buy some? Go ahead and check the description down below. I felt like it warranted a separate video. It'll take you about 5 minutes to set up an account and a wallet. You do need a driver's license or some form of valid ID if you live in the United States. And thank you for watching the video, and I will talk to you next time.